The sun beat down on the valley of Elah, a narrow valley in ancient Israel. Two armies faced each other, poised for battle. On one side stood the Philistines, a powerful and intimidating force. They had come to conquer the Israelites and seize their land. On the other side stood the Israelites, their hearts filled with fear. They were outnumbered and outmatched. The fate of their nation hung in the balance. The tension was palpable. The air crackled with anticipation. A single battle would decide their fate. Among the Israelites was a young shepherd named David. David was small in stature, but he had a heart full of faith. He believed that God would protect his people. He had often faced down lions and bears while protecting his sheep. Now, he was about to face his greatest challenge yet. David had come to the battlefield to bring food to his brothers, who were soldiers in the Israelite army. As he approached the Israelite camp, he heard a commotion. A giant of a man was challenging the Israelites to single combat. This was Goliath, the champion of the Philistines. Goliath was a terrifying sight to behold. Towering over 9 feet tall, he was a mountain of muscle and might. His armor gleamed in the sunlight, a testament to his strength and invincibility. He wore a bronze helmet and a coat of mail that weighed 125 pounds. A bronze javelin was strapped to his back, and he carried a massive iron spear.
Choose a man to fight me. If he is able to kill me, we will become your subjects, but if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us.
Day after day, Goliath repeated his challenge. Day after day, the Israelites cowered in fear. No one dared to answer his challenge. The giant's arrogance was matched only by his size, and the Israelites trembled at the thought of facing him in battle. For 40 days, Goliath taunted the Israelites. The Israelite soldiers were paralyzed with fear. They were ordinary men facing an extraordinary foe. They knew that to fight Goliath was to face certain death.
Who will fight this giant? Riches and my daughter's hand in marriage to the man who defeats him.
King Saul, the tallest man in Israel, was also afraid. He paced back and forth in his tent, his armor rattling with each anxious step. He had offered riches and his daughter in marriage to any man who would face Goliath, but no one dared to volunteer. Each day, the morale of the Israelite army sank lower. They had placed their hope in God, but as the days turned into weeks, their faith began to waver. Where was their God now? Why did he not answer their prayers? David, however, was not afraid. He had faced danger before, protecting his sheep from lions and bears. He knew that God was with him. He had faith that God would deliver him from this giant, just as he had delivered him from the jaws of wild animals.
David, you don't understand. This giant is not like the wild animals you faced. He is a warrior, a killer.
Is there not a cause? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?
David listened in disbelief as his brothers and the other soldiers described Goliath's challenge and their fear. He couldn't understand their terror. He believed that God was stronger than any giant. David's words were a challenge to the Philistines and an inspiration to the Israelites. He refused to stand by and watch as a godless giant mocked his God and terrorized his people. He was determined to face Goliath and defend the honor of Israel.
David, what are you doing here? You are arrogant and foolish to think you can face this giant.
I won't be silenced, Eliab. I know that God has chosen me for this task.
David's confidence caught the attention of King Saul, who summoned the young shepherd to his tent.
Your servant will go and fight this Philistine.
You are just a youth, and this man has been a warrior from his youth.
The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine.
Saul, moved by David's unwavering faith, reluctantly agreed to let him fight Goliath. He offered David his own armor, hoping to give the young man some protection against the giant's mighty blows.
This armor is too heavy and cumbersome. It hinders my movements and feels unnatural.
David removed the armor, realizing that his strength lay not in physical protection but in his faith in God. He would face Goliath as he was, armed only with his shepherd's staff, his sling, and his unwavering belief in God's protection.
Go, and may the Lord be with you.
David approached Goliath, his shepherd's staff in one hand and his sling in the other.
You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied.
With a swift motion, David reached into his bag, grabbed a smooth stone, and loaded it into his sling. He whirled the sling above his head, its leather cord singing through the air, and released the stone with deadly accuracy. The stone struck Goliath squarely in the forehead with a sickening thud. The giant staggered, his eyes rolled back in his head, and he crashed to the ground like a felled tree. The impact of the stone against the giant's skull echoed across the silent battlefield.
The Lord has delivered him into my hand.
David had slain the giant with a single stone. The Philistines, witnessing the impossible, panicked and fled. The Israelites, emboldened by David's courage and faith, charged after their enemies, routing them completely. David's victory over Goliath was a testament to the power of faith and courage. It showed that God can use anyone, even the most unlikely of heroes, to accomplish his will. The story of David and Goliath continues to inspire us today, reminding us that with faith in God we can overcome any obstacle.